Welcome to Little Talks, your weekly dose of marketing news, trends, and insights from Littlefield Agency. Grab your coffee, turn up the volume, and let's get into it.
You know what Chelsea told me?
What's that?
2 weeks ago, I think. She is right. It's not long after she left, and she said, "Hey, stranger, what's going on up there?" She was chatting with me and said, I need to come back up and
She's supposed to come up here
visit
soon.
everybody. That's what she told me. And I said, "Oh, we'd love to see you. Come back up. It'd be great." And this was like 2 weeks ago, and I kept thinking, either she's not come up, or she came up when I was gone.
No, because
So
she would
did she
tell
ask
me.
you when I was going to be here?
No comment. No, just kidding. No, I don't know. But she's supposed to come up here at some point soon. And
That's the word.
I know. We'll see what happens. On that note, welcome back to another edition of Little Talks with Littlefield Agency. I am Sam Littlefield. With me is
Roop.
fresh off the weekend, Roop. He's looking refreshed. He's in a better mood this week. Last week he was a little cranky.
No, I was. I had a nice week last week. I was off Wednesday for anniversary times. I won't get into the details. We had the offsite on Thursday.
Okay, because last week you shared that it was your anniversary. Happy anniversary, by the way.
Thank you.
Can you just give us a snapshot of your day? Because you really did have a great day.
Yeah. So took the whole day off.
Yep.
Had some stuff planned. We had a real nice brunch at Bramble, which
Love
I'd
it.
never been to. It was really good. Liked it. We had dinner at Prosimo. Prosimo?
Prosimo?
Prosimo, yeah.
Prosimo? Our Italian lady over here?
I think it's Prosimo.
Prosimo, I think she's correct.
Okay. And we like that place. We go there for a lot of stuff, good drinks as well. And then before that, we had spa time.
Yeah.
We're at spa for like 3 hours.
You looked so relaxed on Thursday. I mean, you were glowing, glistening.
Yeah, it was fun. A little foot soak, a little couples massage.
That's very nice.
I'll leave out the rest of the details.
Why?
There are more details.
To our listeners,
And then,
okay.
and then we exchanged cards. We had a cards only.
That's what I wanted you to tell.
Cards only anniversary this year,
This is
which
super
we hadn't
cool.
done. And Carrie found a photo of our wedding. I had not seen before. It was an outtake kind of where she's making a face because she didn't like the cake that the resort made for us. We got married in Mexico.
Because the cake was
Square,
not round.
not round. And so when we had our reception back in Oklahoma, we had a round cake, and that was on the inside. And she wrote a little message. It was really sweet. It was really, really good. However, I might have beat her.
Roop did good.
We're big Saturday Night Live fans. We like traveling to New York, and I contacted Wally, the cue card guy, who
Can this be our Giphy this week?
Wally, yeah, he'd love that. That'd be
Let's
awesome.
do that. Let's do that.
Wally, the cue card guy, will make custom cue cards for you just out of his house. And so I contacted Wally and I think his wife, and he asked you like, well, tell me about your hobbies and things you guys, how you met, stuff like that. And he includes like a 5-minute video where he just kind of talks to you, which is really cool. Invited us to be on, get tickets to the Seth Meyers show next time we're in New York and get like a little shown around the backstage and stuff, which I was like, wow, this is
That's pretty neat,
incredible.
dude. That's pretty cool.
And then he does a cue card, which I had him put happy anniversary lady face or something like that. I forgot.
Miss Ladyface,
Miss
right?
Ladyface, that's it, yeah. And so he's holding the card up and he kind of smiles and gives a photo. And so she thought she was just getting the video, and then she also got the card because he mails you the card. So my card was a cue card from Wally, the Saturday Night Live, and Seth Meyers guy, and she talked about it all day.
So I know some of you listen to this on Spotify or watch via YouTube. Go to our landing page and check out this. We're going to put the Giphy in there. It's really, really cool. Giphy, whatever you want to call it. But happy anniversary.
Thank you.
That is awesome. And you should have seen Roop on Thursday. He really was glowing. And we're going to briefly talk about this before we dive into the actual topic today. First off, we got Ditch Mission tomorrow, which is awesome. Happy middle of July. What? July 15th?
I know.
Kidding me?
Month's gone quick.
Good Lord. And then real quick, our quarterly offsite, and I think we've talked about this before. If you're watching the video, I'm holding up a book. It's called Traction by Gino Wickman. This book is literally falling apart. I have pages coming out. It is an accountability tool, and a really interesting thing. Now that I'm talking about this, we should probably do a podcast on this.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Maybe we do that next week. It's just kind of a middle of July, late July break.
Traction.
But this is really interesting because it's a book, but it's also you have to put plans into place and actually take action. So what I tell people is if I were to send this book to 10 people, 5 would read it, 1 would implement it. And it's crazy, right? Like 10% would implement, and it's true because it took us a while to implement it. We are on year 5.
Yeah.
But it's incredible because you have your weekly leadership meetings. A month goes by very quickly. You come up every 90 days for your quarterly offsites. That's where we were last Thursday. And then boom, you blink and it's your annual meeting. So you got 4 quarterlies and you got your annual, and then you've got your weekly L10 meetings, level 10 meetings. But what is so simple, it keeps you on track. And it is my favorite day of the quarter. I would say it was probably for the middle of the year, our best quarterly offsite.
I would say this is one of our better quarterly offsites in the last 5 years.
Wow. And by the way,
Top 3.
that's a lot coming from Roop.
No, listen, you assigned this book and told us we were going to do this 5 years ago, whatever it was, and no one could have rolled their eyes harder than me. I hate this. I hate it. But guess what? It won me over.
It works.
It works. It does work. And it's not painful.
Crazy.
You just got to get into a habit with it, and it really works.
Yeah. So if you want to talk about it, we are. We're
will
gonna
talk about it next week.
Let's do that as an episode next week. But we went to our quarterly, and it's refreshing because you're down in the weeds, you're down in the trenches, and you get to come up to 30,000 feet and look at the vision of the agency. And what are we doing well? And here's the big thing, right? We're, knock on wood, we're having a great year. We got some great clients, we got some great new business wins, we got great culture. And I told our team, I said, guys, we have so many good things going for us. The last thing we can do is get complacent. So we really did challenge. I think that's a big part of it. The catalyst of that meeting was we challenged each other in what you would call thick issues is what he said. You know, some
there were a lot of
them. Meaty or
meaty ones.
but
thick and meaty.
We had some, and issues are a good thing, right? You got to talk through things that aren't working at the agency or what can we better improve upon. So
there is friction in these meetings.
And
healthy friction.
You always tell people that you rate the meeting at the end. And by the way, this is the first time ever in our 5 years of doing this that I actually got a 10 on the meeting. Scale of 1 to 10, and everyone screws me on this. I always give it a 10. It's a great meeting. But I got a 10 from everyone, which is awesome. But what do you always say is a catalyst for a good 10? What does someone have to do? And that's someone being Brock Gamble.
Oh, well, there's 2 things that have to happen, actually.
Oh, go ahead.
One thing is Sam Littlefield has to provide lunch.
Buy lunch and a drink.
So,
okay, check.
mark. And 2, Brock has to get worked up and hit the table.
Yeah, and Brock does, man. He gets heated. And it's not like he's pissed at anyone.
No,
he's just like,
passionate.
Boom,
he gets passionate.
Let's go. And he rustles in his chair. It's always actually fun to see. So we will go into detail, but we're coming fresh off that. We feel very, very good. And with that, let's go into our topic. Claudia. And the topic is very specific and very thankful to our prized, valued, amazing, consistent listener, Trent Guyer.
And guest.
And guest.
Yeah.
And repeat guest, very important guest. The topic is 393%.
Of what?
Of what? The traffic shift brands cannot ignore. Here's what I love about our listeners, especially Trent. Right? He sent this to us last Thursday.
Yeah, same day we were doing last week's podcast.
Roop and I talked about it. And this is a fabulous topic. Weirdly enough, Roop and I are giving a huge virtual presentation tomorrow, and the stars aligned here because we're talking about very similar shifts. And so, Trent, thank you for sending this in. We hope you enjoy this. We would love for you to, call us out. We're probably missing some things here, but that's okay because we're just human. And we're going to talk about this. So, Roop, I'm going to let you lead it off, my friend.
Yeah. So, what is the 393% number? What does that mean? And Trent sent this over. It was very intriguing. I like big numbers. It's like, wow, 393.
You like big numbers,
almost 400, but not quite 400. Yeah. So, this is referring to AI traffic to U.S. retail in the first quarter of this year in 2026.
Year over year.
Yeah. It jumped 393%.
393%
AI referral traffic. So when we think about, we've been talking about this off and on for many podcasts, but the concept is that your customers are not finding you on Google alone anymore. They still are. Google's still very important right now. But that's shifting, and AI traffic is starting to send a lot more people to websites.
This number is only going to go up, guys.
Yeah.
It is so important that you know that. And our talk tomorrow is about this. So here's the thing. What I love about this, you've bolded. It's not a spike. It's a shift. So yes, this is a spike. This is a huge year-over-year jump and increase. This is a shift in consumer behavior.
Yeah, and that shift will continue for the next quarter and the quarter after that. I bet these numbers almost double every quarter.
Well, and here's the interesting part is your next bullet here is that these AI referrals are actually converting 42% higher than other media-related sources.
Yeah, and there's a good reason for that. Unlike search, traditional search that gives you a list of blue links, they call them, for you to click into and see if that's a right fit for you or what you're looking for, yes or no. Tabbing up a bunch of things.
Which at the time, all based on keywords.
All based on key phrasing,
keywords, yes.
AI, when you use it as search, ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, etc., Gemini, don't operate that way. It's a conversation. So when you think about the conversation, you're starting to move a little further down the funnel than normal. It's way beyond just awareness. You're getting into some consideration and some decision making, and that AI is guiding you through it. So if I want a pair of shoes, I always use shoes. I don't know why. If I want a pair of shoes,
it's relatable.
And I just say, hey, I'm looking for some Nikes. AI is not going to say, here's some links where you can buy Nikes. It's going to ask, what size do you wear? What color are you after? Is this for running or training or casual wear? Or where do you live? Like it wants to continue that conversation and pinpoint stuff. So that's why I think people convert 42% higher than other sources, because other sources don't give you the same journey as a user that AI does.
When you think about it too, I'm asking for Nikes, and then historically with Google search, some Cole Haans might come up, Adidas, Reebok, etc.
Yeah.
I brought up Cole Haan for lifestyle purposes, where it is AI search, right? Okay, yeah, hey, there's some Nikes, but have you considered these awesome pair of On Clouds?
Yeah.
Very comfortable lifestyle.
How do you feel about New Balance?
Run, yeah, right. Like they're engaging sentiment. Those that are listening, this, but it's just becoming more and more. Watching my wife search on chat is just wild to me. She takes it for gospel. We've talked about that before, but it's trust but verify is what we talk about. But as you think about retail, and I get it, we have a big B2B audience here, but you've got to think about your dealerships and your distributors and how your consumers are going and doing their research before they ever step foot in your dealership.
Well, and you almost can think of these AI agents or AI search engines, LLMs, as an extension of your dealership.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk
they're
about
operating
that.
Very much like a dealer would. Hopefully, they have enough information to be accurate as a dealer would.
So one of the points, heck yeah, dude. And as last week we discussed, kind of that trust factor and the art and the value of relationships. But in this kind of cursory research stage, it's very important. One point you have here, I don't want to, it's not challenge, but I'm just inquiring here. McKinsey, right, global research consultant firm, projects that AI agents will mediate 3 to 5 trillion with a T in global consumer commerce within the next 4 years.
Yeah, and there's a couple of ways I think they get to that number.
And walk us through that, right? Because as I think about talking to Chat, Perplexity, Gemini, whatever you want to call it, whichever LLM of preference, you specifically bring up AI agents here, and they're mediating these transactions. What does that look like?
So, like I mentioned, there's AI as we know it today, replacing search. We have a conversation, it kind of leads us down the funnel. I think the concept of agents expands on that. And if you've got a chat bot, or you're getting, by the way, they're going to get to this number when Amazon implements AI agents,
which I can't imagine.
They're in the process of doing. But yeah, the key is it's not just search; it's AI agents. And when an AI agent is acting on your behalf, they need information to do that. The people that are going to get to that, be part of that $3 to $5 trillion in the next, was that 4 years?
Yeah, 4 years
or soon,
less.
Or probably sooner. Yeah. Are going to be the ones that have prepped their websites and their products and their digital footprint to work there. And if you haven't, you're probably out. Like the seismic shift here isn't just that, search is kind of shifting. It's how people are buying from you is going to shift. And they're not just going to be buying from you on one platform or another. These agents will be everywhere.
As we've talked about this, and we've made analogies in the past. So you think late '90s, early 2000s, the .com boom. Social media in 08, 9, 10, right? Like getting on there, getting a presence, et cetera. What is this to you? Especially you've lived through all this.
I was alive when the internet was born.
Well, I was alive too, but I wasn't working. Jackwagon.
I was out of college. So
you're out of college. You were working as a professional.
Real quick, I graduated in '95 from University of Tulsa, and that summer before I started my job at Walmart corporate, the marketing department, not the store, the communications department manager called me back, or head of the department called me back up. I was living on campus. He called me back up and said, "Hey, I want to show you something." He wheeled out a TV and what was the first website I ever saw, and it was beastieboys.com.
Let's go.
And it was garbage.
Claude, you got to love that though. Beastieboys.com.
Beastieboys.com. And it was just flashing pixels and animated GIFs and some really bad MIDI music.
Probably blew your mind though.
It did. And so he said, this is everything moving forward. And so I was like, this is crazy.
Smart man.
So I started learning how to build websites immediately after that. A little HTML packet I still have he gave me for some basic coding. But I do remember the first 3 or 4 years, no one thought about it as like buying anything.
No,
You're like, everything was a digital billboard.
Totally.
And so when you could start buying stuff, people were a little bit nervous about it at first. Like, I'm going to give my credit card. I don't know who these people are.
True.
Do I get a copy of it? Are they stealing? Yeah. Now we don't think anything of that.
Second nature.
Second nature.
But is this shift bigger or as big?
I think it's as big. This is a new internet.
Yeah, no, it 100% is, and it's a good good segue here because the big mistake is you can't just think of this as one more media traffic channel, right?
No, it touches more.
And
stuff.
as you think about your paid and owned efforts, those are still very, very important, no doubt about it. We've talked about ChatGPT ads. Like they are going to monetize this. There's no doubt. There's just no doubt. But it's reshaping discovery, pricing, delivery, and overall user experience. We've talked about zero-click a million times here. So as potential customers that are listening to this episode, Roop, what do they need to be doing right now on their, and as I'm thinking about owned media, right? Your website, your content, because if they miss this boat, they're in trouble.
Yeah. There's a great slide in the deck for those who will be on there with us tomorrow that illustrates this, but real quick. There's things you
Honestly,
can.
We should use this at some point.
Probably.
And just make it a generic brand. Yeah. Okay,
There's things you can do and things that you can't do or you probably haven't been doing, so you might be a little behind the ball. First off, your traditional SEO still matters and is important, and it helps flag some signals to AI SEO. But you want to make sure your site is AI crawlable, it's accessible and understandable by bots. Talk to your developer, talk to someone who understands the code behind how your site's built to see if that's
ready. And this is already changing too.
yeah.
Like this is crazy. Yeah. Back-end schema is changing. It's just like, what?
Yeah, they're like schemas aren't as important now, but they're still important for some things, so you want them in there. But yes, the code, this shifts quite a bit frequently, but make sure your code is ready and make sure your content on the front end is ready. And the content's kind of the most important part. If you want to influence what shows up when someone says who are the best three I don't know, steel bucket manufacturers, is that a thing in the country, you want to be one of those consideration items. If AI doesn't know about you or can't find you online,
you're invisible.
If no one's talking about you other than yourself, you're also a little invisible. You need good reviews from your customers. And that can be in formal review settings like Google reviews or Amazon reviews, Facebook reviews. It also can be in social platforms like Reddit. Reddit is huge for this right now. Yeah. I don't recommend going on and trying to just talk yourself up on Reddit, but hopefully you've got customers who are saying good things about you there and furthering that conversation. So it's that whole concept of, are people trusting you we talked about last week? Yep. Hopefully they already are. You've already established a trust online. Hopefully you have a good, clean, healthy presence online. But if this is something where you've had a website up for the last 20 years and you haven't paid attention to it, and it looks like the old BeastieBoys.com,
or if you've just launched a website in the last 3 years, right? So much has changed.
May have been something
you launched one last year.
This may have been something you weren't considering. Then you need to look at.
No, of course. And so,
and by the way, I want to reiterate: it's not limited to your website. That's the thing you can probably have some control over this week.
Yes.
There's other bigger projects that affect how you're viewed online.
Yes, 100%. And you think about it, and this is going to sound hilarious, but 10 years ago, I just joined the agent, or about to join the agency in September of 2016. And I remember when I used to do research, like trying to purchase something, my research behavior, it would take me a while because I knew how paid search worked. And you as marketers knew the same thing, but I'd actually go to some deeper pages in Google, just curious, like who was there.
What's on page 8?
What's on page 8? Dude, I used to do that. And and then it became, hey, if you're not on page 1, you're screwed. And now it's like, dude, if you're not showing up in LLMs, you're super screwed.
Yeah.
And so you think about that research buying behavior. Like I used to be much more like, I don't know, just kind of chill and roll with it, see what's out there, more out of curiosity. And that's because we're marketers. But now, to your point, right? If you're invisible and, whatever LLM brings up the 5 brands you're searching for and your brand's not in that consideration set, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
And that's a crazy scenario to be in. You and I, as we were prepping for this presentation, we were talking about last week, our search results are always different. You were searching something and 5 brands showed up and mine were different. There was some overlap, but so again, right, you just got to take into consideration what that owned strategy looks like, and then shifting this perspective of it is no longer this spike. It is a true shift in consumer behavior.
This is not a fad.
This is not a fad. And you think about your digital storefront, right? Your digital storefront traditionally over the last 10 years has been your website. Mm-hmm. And not so much the case, while the website's still very important, right? Because you're feeding the content to these LLMs and through SEO and all things Google. We'll see how that shifts. But oh boy, like you gotta, these shoppers are arriving informed, somewhat pretty educated.
Yeah.
And it's your job to convince them to go to the dealership. If it's a straight, B2C e-commerce play, they want them to buy your parts and service. That's a big part of it.
I think we're going to find in the next year there'll be some study come out. I'm not going to do it, but there'll be some study that's going to come out that talks about AI's shortening of mini sales cycles. So you don't need to kind of wait or grow for information. You're getting it and you're having a discussion, you're having that conversation right there. You can sit on it for a few days and continue the conversation. But like the idea that, multiple funnel steps can all happen in one setting is kind of wild. It really changes.
Yes.
And that's why these people are coming more prepared to buy when they show up.
When we talked about that at our offsite, right? Awareness down to conversion can all happen on a single page these days.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. But as you think about it, and as we think through even if it's a shortened sales cycle, awareness is more important now than ever. And so you think of these different mediums, right? We want to make sure that your brand is top of mind for when they go to this LLM, that they are searching you or at least inquiring about you.
Yeah, because if you're not showing up in a comparison, that's its own podcast.
Yes,
we're going to do our own podcast on that.
100%.
But if you're not showing up in a comparison where people are asking who are the best brands in this industry,
you're in trouble.
You hope that when you don't show up, they at least have some brand recognition with that user. They can say, "What about brand X?"
Yes.
And then you might get a little something out of
100%. Yeah. And we're not trying to elicit fear, right? We're not fear tactic implementers over here.
No.
This is educational in nature, and just right? Like we've been talking to some clients about this for well over a year now, and they haven't moved forward with it. We talked to a lot of prospective clients. Hey, what's your plan? Oh, we do some extra articles each month, and it's okay. That's one step. So as you prepare, here we are, right? Latter 6 months of the year, you are about to gear up. Some of you I know are for a fact are gearing up for 2027 planning. That will be here very fast. What is your strategy? We're happy to help guide you. Use this as a sounding board because we've got a lot of thoughts and opinions and trying to steer your brand in the right direction.
Yeah.
So next week we're going to go traction. This is going to be a fun one, to be entertaining, and talking about coming up to 30,000 feet. How do you advance your brand? How do you better engage your audience? How do you ultimately make more money? It's a beautiful thing.
I think I got my book back from Chelsea. She was curious about it. I loaned it to her. I think she gave it back. I need to find it.
So you didn't even prep last week, huh?
No, well, I'm used to it. That's the thing now. I kind of understand it.
We're in a zone. I'm giving you a hard time. We've been doing this for 5 years. It's habit at this point. So, Claudia, it is always great to see you. Thank you for dealing with us. To our listeners, thank you for hanging in there. It is a great episode. It's going to be a damn good episode next week,
What would you rate this episode, Sam?
I give it a 10.
I got no lunch. It's a 9.
And welcome to a glimpse of my world. And with that, we will see you next week. Bye-bye.
Adios.
And that's a wrap. We hope you found a spark of inspiration for your marketing strategy. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us at Littlefield Agency to keep the conversation going. Catch you next time.